Hey Remodelaholics, welcome back to our DIY channel. Today we're making a modern plywood bench using half-lap construction. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up. We have weekly builds and decor projects, so be sure to check back often. Today's project is built by Blaine from Curtis Frank Design. Give him a follow on Instagram at Curtis Frank Design. The best feature of this bench is the 1/8" hangover of the lap construction. It highlights the way the wood is woven together and is a very simple but elegant design feature. This bench highlights all the beautiful ply layers in the plywood, and all you need is one sheet of plywood. Start by cutting your boards to more manageable sizes with a circular saw. This will make them easier to cut on a table saw. Print off the cut list on our blog. The link is in the description box below. Once you have your plywood cut to manageable sizes, you'll be cutting 2-inch wide strips at 3 different lengths. You will need 16 pieces of each length in 48, 17 7/8, and 15 7/8 lengths. Again, plans are linked below. Once you have all your 2-inch wide strips cut to length, you will need to glue them in sets of 2. To make drying faster and keep your board straight while they dry, clamp all the sets of 2 at one time. Just don't glue them all together yet. Once they are dry, you will need to sand and round off the corners of only one end of the 48-inch boards and the 17 7/8" boards. And now Blaine is going to explain how to assemble the bench.
So here we go. We're going to start to assemble the bench. We've got the 48-inch pieces that will become our bench top that we sanded the corners around just on the one side. So this side is square. It's got sharp corners. This side has the rounded corners. That's going to be important. We have the 18-inch pieces also sanded just on the one side, sharp and square on the other side. And the 15 7/8 pieces that are square and sharp on both sides. So those are fairly critical points to our puzzle. So first thing we're going to do, 48-inch piece from the rounded side. We're going to measure in 2 1/8 inch. Make a mark there. We'll grab our glue. All the way from this side up to our line, we want glue. Then another 48-inch piece with the rounded corners the opposite direction. And we line this sharp end up right with the mark that we just made. That's 2 1/8 inches from the rounded edge. With that glue, instead of schmoozing it with your finger, you just sort of massage it in. I've got 2-inch pins. And in my left hand, I'm holding the joint flush on both sides so I can feel that. About every 10 inches. And it's true that 2-inch pins don't have a lot of grab when we're going through 1.5 inches worth of wood into the other board, but the pins are really just there to hold it till the glue dries. Glue is far stronger as a bond than pins are. So this is the result. We've got the 2 48-inch boards glued together, and it looks like you made a mistake and you couldn't line the ends up, but in fact you did it perfect. So that's exactly what we want right there. The second step is take our 18-inch piece, rounded corner on this side, square and sharp on that side, and the 15 7/8 piece, square and sharp on both sides, and we're going to glue and nail those together so that the square ends meet up. You'll be able to put your finger on it and feel that they're perfectly lined up there. I always like to put glue on the shorter board. That way you don't have excess. There you have it. Then we take our 48-inch board, both of them, and our leg piece. We're going to call this the leg piece now. We're going to join them together just like that. Now the leg piece should come through the top just a little bit, and the bench top piece will come through the leg just a little bit. And that's going to give us a really cool effect at the end. It's going to give the project quite a bit of dimension. So what we want to do is get glue everywhere that these two boards are going to touch. So on this face, and on this face, and on this face. Nest them in there really nice and tight. So I'll just put one pin in, then we check for square. So Shazam. So we're gonna flip it over, and then we're gonna repeat the leg piece. So here again, 18-inch piece, rounded edge, 15 7/8 square edges. Putting our glue on the shorter piece. And we're going to line up those square edges. We're going to put glue on all the surfaces that are going to have contact with each other. Slide those together, hug them in there real nice and tight. Put one pin in. I always do the inside corner because that gives you, you'll keep a tight joint, but it still gives you flexibility. You check for square. These first pieces are so critical that we get them square. They determine the rest of the piece. So that is the foundation of our bench. So it's starting to take shape. Now we're just going to add on to it layer by layer. Okay, important order of operations. On this side we've got our 18-inch board on the very top. On this side we have our 15 7/8 board on the very top. And across the bench top, our 48 starts on the inside of the 18 and it finishes on the outside of the 15 7/8. So on this next layer, everything is going to be opposite of that. So I'll start off with my 48. So again, on this, the rounded end is on that side. So I'm going to put my rounded end on this side. So we'll just continue to build this up, remembering that the golden rule on the legs is we put the opposite leg on, and the rule for the bench top is that we put the rounded edge on the opposite side as the previous. Okay, our last step is just to sand and clean it up a little bit. So I've gone a little bit more aggressive with the sandpaper, gone to 150. So still not super aggressive. We just want to make sure that everything is super clean. There's no sharp edges anywhere, and it's real smooth. Plywood has a tendency to flake at the edges, so you want to make sure that you round all the outside edges.
Don't you love how that lap construction looks on the corners of this modern plywood bench? It's so beautiful. Blaine did such a great job. That 1/8 inch overlap highlights the ply so well. Tell us where you would use this bench in your home. Right now we have it at the end of our bed and we love the way it looks. And be sure to check out this other great playlist of plywood projects, including this amazing angle-legged plywood bench. So if this one isn't your cup of tea, be sure to check out this other tutorial. Again, thanks for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. See you next week.